Okay, so my name is Jeff.
Sure.
What's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Not Brian, Ryan.
Ryan. R-Y-N. You're not
Okay.
a cop, right?
No, no.
Okay.
I'm actually a high school teacher.
Always have to ask that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was your bus.
No,
Is this
don't
your
worry.
bus?
It is, but I'll entertain this. This is
Okay.
pretty funny.
So you heard my question. What do you think happens after this life? What's
Yeah.
your take on that?
Well, so I don't know. I actually have a PhD in physics,
Okay.
which probably is why I thought this was an interesting question.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I wouldn't call myself an atheist, but I'm not religious. But I don't like. So I don't want to give like a super long answer, but I don't like when people are super certain about this question.
Yeah, the certainty.
I think both religion and people who are truly open-minded are better answers than it's just blackness or something like kind of, I think
Like
maybe
an atheistic answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I get older, I think the answer is probably a lot more complex.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't have humility about that question, I don't think you're going to go to hell or something, but I think it'll probably make your life a lot poorer if you're super, certain about that question.
Yeah. So the certainty is kind of a turnoff.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
I mean,
And-
there's also dogmatism in religion,
Yeah.
but there's dogmatism in science, or maybe not science, but
Some
like
parts
the
of science.
sort of vaguely secular worldview that is dominant now.
Yeah.
Kind of like lazy, vaguely pro-science.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a mistake.
Yeah. What did you say your PhD's in?
Physics.
Physics.
Yeah.
So, do you have any? So, I have talked to some physics students, master's degree, whatever, doctorate, who have said, well, let me just. So being in physics, you know how complicated the world is.
Yeah.
Right.
And the more we learn, the more sort of complicated it is.
Yeah, like the more we know, it expands the edges of our
Yeah.
lack of knowledge, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have a good awareness of like how much we don't know.
Right.
Yeah. How does that affect your view of a creator of all of this? Like,
I mean, it's certainly possible that there's a creator. Like, you can't say that it's impossible.
yeah,
I think for me, if there is a creator, I would still have a lot of questions.
yeah,
So it wouldn't. I think for some people, if they think there's a creator that's like they feel comforted by that, I would just sort of be like, well, I have like a million questions for you.
yeah,
I think it'd be really cool if there were a creator, because then I could ask him a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
yeah,
I think there's evidence for some intelligence behind the universe. I mean, the laws of physics are very elegant and almost mysterious. They definitely are. They definitely don't seem familiar. They seem otherworldly or something. So
yeah. I guess that's another part of my question is, when we know there are laws, it's got to like get you asking like, who made this law? Like
Yeah.
who set it in place?
right,
Who
it does seem like
decided this
an
particular-
intelligence of some sort.
Yeah,
A very alien one, as far as like not like alien like extraterrestrial, but just very foreign.
yeah. Well, hard for us to understand,
Yeah,
definitely.
and I'm really against, like Richard Dawkins. I mean, you probably know who that is.
yeah, yeah.
Just
I get his talking points.
sort
all
of
the time.
reductive, like sort of like reductive, like he acts like the more he knows about science, the sort of like the mystery goes away. But
Yeah,
I've had the opposite experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Like the more we know about the cosmos, the more we realize how much we don't know.
Yeah.
And then going the opposite direction,
Yeah.
the same way.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
And so for me as a Christian, it actually deepens my appreciation for the Creator.
Yeah.
And I try to purposely use the word Creator because I'm not necessarily saying it's got to be the Christian God.
Sure.
I'm just trying to find out if you believe in any kind of a creator, or
I mean,
it sounds like you're open to that idea.
I totally am. I just and sometimes like if I read a religious book, like if I read the Old Testament or something, or like I really like the Book of Job, for example.
Oh yeah, me too.
And
Especially the last part where God is asking Job questions.
yeah, and when he tells his
Who is
friends,
this that darkens?
counsel with words without wisdom. I think that's the line, something like that.
Yeah.
At King James version or something.
Yeah.
But I sort of like when God in Job yells at his friends, tells them to shut up.
Right.
Like, you don't know how the universe works, you shut up.
Yeah.
I think
And
that,
they're probably like the religious guys of our day that think they know everything.
yeah, or the secular
Or even
humanists
secular,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, so I think there's probably something. There's definitely something like super beyond what we know.
Yeah.
You can call it a creator. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the term for it.
Do you think, Ryan, if it's possible, like if someone could conduct an experiment to prove that God exists, do you think, and then he did somehow, do you think you'd believe in God at that point?
you'd have to accept the evidence, right? I mean, if you don't,
I actually, believe it or not, would not believe in that kind of a God.
Okay, yeah.
So-
Well, he would be in the sort of material realm or whatever.
Yeah, he would be like subject to our whims of, like us
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I mean, I would. I don't know. As I get older, I used to be a lot more hardcore atheist when I was younger, and I just.
You're mellowing.
I don't know if I'm mellowing. Actually, I'm probably becoming crazier, but I just think that like life is very mysterious, and if you don't feel like life is mysterious, I mean, I don't want to say there's something wrong with you, but like that would it just seems like a shame.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know why we're here or anything like that, and I think it seems like there's a purpose.
Yeah. So the doctorate hasn't answered that question.
No, I mean
and we wouldn't expect it to. I don't think.
I mean, I probably did when I was younger, but But and it doesn't even. It's not like I had some like kind of like I didn't have like some existential crisis or anything. Like I was probably more psychologically vulnerable when I was in grad school than I am now. So I don't think like I turn to God or like there's no atheist in a foxhole. People say stuff like that.
Right.
It's not like. I found out I had
old
cancer.
enough.
It's not like I found out I had cancer and then I was like,
Right.
I think there must be meaning in life. No, seriously, it's just the more you stare at the problem, it just kind of jumps out at you.
Yeah.
And I just I also just kind of maybe in summary or something. I think religion is really important right now because I think in the sort of vacuum that's created by the sort of diminishing importance of religion.
Yeah.
We live in kind of a moral hellscape.
Yeah.
And I worry about that. I think it's making people crazy.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of crazy hedonism and just.
I can kind of tell you like a Christian understanding of what's going on with.
Sure.
So there's like a secular religion that's forming right now.
Totally, 100%.
Or has formed.
That's a perfect way of describing it.
And so it's very Pharisaical as far as like. Sure. Yeah. Like it's got so I think you've been referring to this all along, like it's got its secular counterparts to the Pharisees.
Absolutely,
So my take on it is that, of course, I believe in God and I believe in the Bible, and so that that God has given from Adam and Eve on down has given mankind a sense of right and wrong. Like He's put His law on our hearts, is how the Old Testament puts it. Yeah. And so everyone has a moral compass.
Sure.
That we don't get to set, like it's something outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's something that the universal problem is that we know right from wrong, but we don't keep it.
Yeah, and like if you don't believe in God, like why would you, right? Or maybe that line of thinking is tempting to some people.
Without belief in God, we're free to determine what that good and bad is. So like it's like a general feeling of we're accountable to someone, but we want the freedom to decide what the parameters of that are. Adam and Eve said we want to decide whether we want to eat from this tree or not. That's not God to tell us what to do. We want to make that decision. And ever since then, we've been trying to tell God. So we're not treating God as God. We're treating treating ourselves as God.
Like a lack of humility. I think that's people don't believe in anything greater than themselves.
So I think that the fact that we know we can't even keep our own sense of morality makes people who don't believe in God want to justify their existence somehow. So if they can't do it through, say, like an organized religion, they're going to try to find some other way to do it. And so we get the social justice movement, and
which is a religion,
environmentalism,
which is a religion.
Yeah,
I mean seriously, I'm not even.
And so you got to toe the line, as part of that religion, and you have to kind of what's the word for it? value, like display your morals,
Like virtue signaling.
virtual signal,
Yeah.
in order to kind of like set yourself above the
It
next
really
guy.
does have like all the properties of like a cult.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's kind of like, yeah, in that vacuum, the secular world has come up with its own religion, you know.
Yeah, and it's a pretty
And
bad one.
and so I'd have to say, like, all of those things I believe in, as far as like protecting our environment and, you know,
course.
honoring other people. Everyone is made in God's image. I'm going to respect others, but it all comes from God. There's a right and wrong that comes from God, and so here's what I maybe want to. I don't know how much time you have, but I might want to leave you with something like this: that yes, the more we know about the world, the more it seems complicated to believe in God. But at the same time, if God reveals himself to us, if it's kind of his revelation of himself, then it's not on us to figure God out. It's more, we have to have some kind of a source where we get that information. So me as a Christian, I get that from the Bible. You know, it's
Yeah, of course. I mean, I probably would have to like contemplate that a lot. But I think the general, you know, it actually made my day that I ran into you, just because, you know, I was actually just talking to a friend about this. You know, the kind of the moral vacuum that we live in.
Yeah, we sure
And
do.
I don't know the right answer. I don't know if the Bible is the right answer, but
Yeah,
when I read the Bible, and I have no religious background really,
you don't?
and I feel inspired. So
Yeah.
maybe that's God. I don't know.
I mean, I've been reading the Bible most of my adult life, and you know, like regularly on a daily basis, a little bit every day. And so I'm going over it again and again, and it's always fresh. Like it's always got relevance. It's not that I'm always learning something new, but I'm being reminded of something that I kind of like neglected, or so it's, to me, it's like a living word. And part of the thing that really convinces me that it's God's word is that it comes from so many sources. There's like 40 different authors, and they're all speaking together, and there's this harm. I wouldn't say they're all saying the same message, because there's different reasons for every
but there's
book.
like a coherence.
But there's and I call it like a harmony. Like it works
sure.
together in a fascinating way, you know.
Absolutely.
So maybe I could just encourage you to keep reading the Bible, and
I will,
keep
man.
checking it
I'll
out.
never stop. All right. Well, I
I'll give you my card.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
see where this is, and if you don't like it, tell me to take it.